Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm Caden, I'll be your host today. I've said that once already and it's kind of stuck. So yeah, welcome to my June reading wrap up. Yeah, hopefully the first of many more. This is kind of the video I've been most excited for because I just get to yap about books for like half an hour. Well, not today because we're on a time crunch. As you can see, my background's kind of really messy, and that's because I'm packing to leave for Spain tomorrow. So it's currently June 28th, and I haven't even I haven't finished reading all the books I'm gonna read in June, but I'm not gonna be in town, to film this, so yeah. I'm gonna film ahead of time. So yeah, anyway, we're kind of on a time crunch. Speaking of which, since we're on a time crunch, we are going to be doing this wrap up kind of differently. Well, okay. First and foremost, how I do my wrap ups on here. We're going to talk about books from the ones that I enjoyed the least to the ones that I enjoyed the least to the highest rated. But today, with the added little time crunch, and also just so that way it's easier on me for editing, I'm only going to give myself a minute to talk about the books. So I'm going to give the synopsis of the book, then I'm going to start a timer. And yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna start a timer and only get to talk about the book for a minute. So yeah. Okay, so let's get to our 1 stars / DNFs. I only have 2. I only have one real DNF though, so yeah, let's talk about that first. Also, sorry for I'm actually gonna bring this a bit closer. Sorry about any changes. Okay, I lied. Changes in lighting, because the sun is actively setting, and I also filmed this and then had to refilm it because it's shit. And also, I had to charge my phone, and it's only at 11% right now. I'm not in the mood today, you know? But yeah, anyway, so I'm gonna try and get through this quick anyway. So, yeah, my first, only real DNF is Manhunt by Gretchen Felker Martin. So this follows 3 trans main characters, 2 trans women, 1 trans man in an apocalypse where all, people born male at birth, where people with higher levels of testosterone have turned into sorry if you hear the wind outside, have turned into kind of wild beasts and brought upon the apocalypse. And it follows these characters while they deal with turfs and the apocalypse. So yeah, let me start the timer. Okay, so I DNF'd this because after the first part. I read the first 73 pages. I DNF'd it right here, because, well, one, the writing style I didn't love. I just don't love this person's writing style all that much. Just not my vibe. It's there's a lot of sexual stuff that I just don't love reading about. And also, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, this is an extreme horror book, and I didn't know that going in, so there was a really extreme scene that caught me off guard, and I DNF'd because I couldn't handle that much, or that level of intensity at the moment, but I'll definitely pick this back up in October once I'm more prepared for it. So yeah. How much? Oh, 4 seconds to spare. Okay. The next one is going to take, I'm actually going to put a 1.5-minute timer on there so I can talk about this fucking book. It is The Handyman Method by Nick Cutter and Andrew F. Sullivan. Oh, yeah, right, I have to tell you what the book is about. This is a 1-star / DNF, but I read enough of it to count it as a book read. But yeah, anyway, this is about the Sabin family who move into this, new kind of poltergeist where it's a family, except it's family 3, moves into this new house that was just built in a new development, and then weird stuff starts happening. And it says Trent Sabin, the patriarch of the family, starts going on a YouTube rabbit hole watching this one guy's DIY home repairs. Okay, so this is like if Andrew. The reason I hate this book so much is it's like if Andrew F. Sullivan, he watched the Shining movie, was like, let's turn this into a book, put it in suburbia, set it in the summer, um, and then fill it with misogyny and like just like literally everything wrong with men writing horror, and then we're gonna put that in a book, and then I'm gonna have Nick Cutter try and save it and then fail because nothing could have saved this book. Yeah, I read before like yeah, I read the first 3 parts of this 4-part book. It was awful. There's so much misogyny, like, and it isn't Nick Cutter's fault because I know he like doesn't write women well too much in his books, but I still love him to where I can tell where like if something is like super misogynistic like this, it's Andrew F. Sullivan's fault, not Nick Cutter. Yeah, I hated this. I hated wasting my time on this. Because I just found no point. I found no point in what we were doing. It was stupid. It was just a stupid, stupid book. I hate this so much. God, I hate it. I hate it. I hate that I wasted time. I'm also just really disappointed that like a Nick Cutter book let me down so bad. Yeah, okay. Oh, wait. Oh, never mind. I remembered what I was gonna say. It's okay. It's gonna, yeah. Also, there's like stuff. This, every time it cuts to a new part in this book, which is the next month, in the timeline of events, it seems like really important stuff has happened off page and it just expects us to accept that. Yeah. Hate this book. Awfully written. Hate it. So now we're going to move on to our 3.25 star ratings, which or books that I rated 3.25 stars, and I only have 2 of them again, so. Alright, starting off with Piercing by Ryu Murakami. You've probably heard of this if you're on, like, disturbing horror book part of the internet. But yeah, if you haven't, this book is about a man who wants to, harm his newborn daughter with an ice pick, so he tries to figure out another way to kind of another outlet for that feeling. Now, started the timer. So I rated this 3.25 because the thing is, this started off really strong with what I thought was going to be a book about intrusive thoughts, and then we kind of, like, once we stepped away from the daughter, we really didn't bring it up until the end of the book, because the rest of this book is this guy just trying to kill this Lady of the Night, and this Lady of the Night kind of being oblivious, and then also having her own demons, and like, oh, yeah, I didn't love this for that reason. Also, the guy's murder plot was kind of stupid. Like, there was just a lot of holes in it, and I also don't love that it's like I'm gonna choose a Lady of the Night for, like, kind of, I don't know. I just feel like whenever it's like a middle upper class man, sorry, I thought my mom was coming, like, who's like, I want to harm a Lady of the Night, it's weird. But yeah. Also, this book's ending is just, I don't know. It didn't land, but yeah. 3.25. It was pretty decent. Okay. Next one I rated 3.25 was Quarter to Midnight by Darcy Coates. This is one of her short story collections. That's kind of all I can really describe it as, because it's a short story collection that isn't really, like, tied together in any way, except for there being 2 stories regarding mannequins. And I think they are connected. But yeah, anyway. Okay, so I rated this 3.25 stars because it's a short story collection, and I hate those people who are like, every short story collection they rate 3 stars. Oh, sorry, 10% battery warning. But I am unfortunately going to be that person for this. The writing style felt very much so like a short story collection, where it's just like, I don't know, I feel like short stories, whenever a writer is trying to write them, it always, like, the writing style is very different. Also, none of them really stood out to me, and I haven't thought about this book much until I put it down, except for one story that really stuck with me. It's about mannequins. It's the second mannequin story in the book. Freaked me out. Yeah. So that's where the quarter star comes from. But other than that, yeah, 3 stars, pretty forgettable, but like, I don't know, pick it up if you just want like some nice horror stories to like read before bed. If you're like me. I had 1 second to spare, so yeah. Let me make sure. 3.25. This is okay. So let me talk about my 3.5 star, the book I rated 3.5 stars. I only have one, and that is Prom Queen by R.L. Stine. Also, really quick, it's surprising that I only have one book I rated 3.5 because I think that's the rating I've given to most of the books I've read this year. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, Prom Queen by R.L. Stine. Oh, wait, no, tell you what it's about. Sorry, I like get jumbled mentally sometimes. So Prom Queen is about this girl named Lizzie. Elizabeth goes by Lizzie, and her 4 friends who all are in the running for Prom Queen this year, but suddenly they all start getting picked off one by one. Okay, so I rated this 3.5 stars, kind of just because, like, it was a really good, fun, like, 90s YA thriller. It had, like, the vibes I was looking for. It was what I really wanted. But, like, outside of, like, the YA 90s, like, fun mystery, it just kind of, there wasn't more to it. It was just that, like, mindless, like, mystery. And like, if I'm gonna rate a book 4 to 5 stars, I need it to like actually, I don't know. I just feel like I need a book to have something more to say than what this book had, if that makes sense. Yeah. Also, I just loved like following along with the mystery though. It was really fun, loved the writing style, though I don't know if it really aged well. But yeah, loved it so much. Would highly recommend as like a palate cleanser when you're reading. So yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh, I always forget things by the time the plot twist in this book threw me. Did not get it. Insane. I cannot wait to see the movie. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to my 3.75 star rated books, of which there are 2, and they're out of order. Okay. You got the first one spoiled for you, but that is First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston. So, this is about this girl named, oh my gosh, Ashley? Evie. I don't know where I got Ashley. About this girl named Evie Porter, or at least that's like her current identity that was given to her by this really like mysterious boss. But she was hired to take down this guy named Ryan Sumner. It's like part of her job. And then like this job starts to like weird stuff starts to happen. It's making Evie think that like maybe there's more to her job. Anyway, that was a really bad explanation of it. I'm so sorry, but like, yeah. Okay, so this felt like a Netflix series, like thriller series that's like 8 episodes that you binge in a day and then just immediately forget about. That's what this book was. It was like really fun and engaging and really exciting, fast-paced, but really forgettable. That's where it fell off for me, is just like, honestly, I haven't thought about it since I love, oh my gosh, since my like last time talking about it in my last vlog that I did. So yeah, but really good, really fast-paced, really interesting. The plot twists had me on the floor, especially the last few reveals. I was gagged. Yeah, really good, really solid thriller, and I would probably recommend it to like anybody looking for like a palate cleanser read that like you can just kind of read and then forget about. Okay. Sorry, I don't know why I did that thumbs up. But anyway, the next book I rated 3.75 stars was Kill for Me, Kill for You by Steve Kavanaugh. So this book is there's 2 like main storylines going on. So the first one is this woman named Amanda. She meets this woman named Wendy. They're both like kind of 40, 50, 40s or 50s, and they meet and they kind of get to talking, and they both realize that there are two men, that they each have a man who is still alive, who like really just screwed up their lives. So they kind of do a strangers on the train moment and swap murders. By the way, Strangers on a Train is like an Alfred Hitchcock movie that was a heavy inspiration for this book. But yeah, anyway, so they decide to swap murders, and what that means is Wendy is going to murder the man who ruined Wendy's life, and Amanda is going to do the same for Wendy. And then our other storyline, we have this woman named Ruth whose house gets invaded when her husband Scott isn't there, and Ruth gets attacked, and it kind of follows her post-attack trying to cope with what happened while she starts seeing the man who attacked her kind of everywhere. All right, so I'll do a minute and 30 seconds for this because there's kind of a lot to talk about. So, first things first, this book, honestly, it started off so strong. And that's like what sucks about giving it a lower rating, is because this book, it starts off with Amanda. Like, the most memorable part about the beginning of this book is Amanda describing, so her 6-year-old child was kidnapped and murdered by the man that Wendy is going to target. And then a week later, her husband, who wasn't paying attention when his child got kidnapped, ended his own life on his own terms a week later out of guilt. And it just describes really like visceral grief in the beginning of this book, specifically around Amanda losing her daughter. But the thing is, from there, the book really slows down, and nothing really happens until like the halfway mark, when we get a plot twist and we like stuff really starts picking up. And then like the second half of this book, I flew through it and I was so excited to pick this book back up. But after the beginning, like the first half really slows down. Anyway, but then the ending of this book comes in, and it just, it kicks this book in the stomach, because one of the plot twists I guessed, like, kind of right off the bat, like, hindsight, it's basically given away. Oh, I'm not done talking yet. And then the second, or like the last plot twist of this book is just really stupid. It makes no sense. And I hate it. There's literally no way anybody could see this coming. Yeah, so then 3.75 stars. Had potential to be a 4. Like, I rated it 4 on Storygraph. Yeah. Okay, so next we're gonna do my 4-star rated book, which I only had one of, and that is Cuckoo by Gretchen Felker Martin. So this book is essentially just like a queer version of It, and it takes place in the 90s. It's these 7 queer kids who are put into like this wilderness camp, conversion camp, like the wilderness camps where like that like legally kidnap kids, mixed with conversion camp. But then they start noticing like weird stuff happening in the camp. And then 16 years later, after the events of their summer in this camp, they have to come back and defeat the evil that like took over the camp in the first place. And the fate of the world like hangs in the balance. The fate of the world depends on it. That was a better way to put it. Sorry, that was like, again, really poorly explained, but like, whatever. It's okay. So I rated this 4 stars. I, like with the last Gretchen Felker Martin book, I did not love the writing style. There was needless sexual stuff. But outside of that, I really found myself getting attached to our characters, especially by the second part. As I was reading it, I really like was thinking about my rating for this, and I just like thought about how much I loved and cared for these characters, and like, yeah, I loved this so much. And there's like such good like body horror. It's kind of like a cosmic horror. The creature It is like a kind of cosmic creature feature, but it's like a Invasion of the Body Snatchers type deal, and it's just really good, amazing. It's like a better It, which this takes heavy inspirations from It. And by heavy inspirations, I mean heavy inspirations from the book. So yeah, if you can catch my drift. But yeah, anyway, if you know, you know. I'm surprised I fit this into a minute. Anyway, okay, before we get to my 5-star reads, I have two 4.75-star reads. So the first one is Listen for the Lie by, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I don't have the book in front of me, and I believe the author's name is Amy Tintera. I'll put it up on screen here. Okay, so this book is about this girl named Lucy who 5 years ago, her best friend was murdered. But the thing is, like, there's a lot of evidence that says Lucy was the one who murdered her best friend. But Lucy doesn't remember anything from that night. So 5 years later, Lucy is brought back to... She is living in LA now. She moved away from her hometown of Plumpton, Texas. It's like small town. Sorry, oh my lord. It's because I'm talking a lot. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Her hometown, Plumpton, Texas, like small town vibes. But she goes back for her grandma's birthday, and her grandma kind of like forces her to do this podcast with this guy who's doing a podcast on the murder that happened 5 years ago. And Lucy helps him try to solve what happened 5 years ago. That was, oh my god, I can't explain these books well for the life of me. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I love this book, 4.75 stars, like, it was amazing. I read the physical with the audio. I actually gave it to my friend. That's why I don't have the physical here. But the audiobook was, like, perfectly acted. The writing style was hilarious. I loved it. Our characters were so funny. I was, like, cracking up while reading it. Our main character, she's a badass. Like, in the final confrontation with the killer that, like, every thriller has, our main character, Lucy, doesn't run away like every other female lead in literally every other thriller. She kicks ass. She's like, you know what? I'm sick of this. I'm sick of you. And also, there's so much good commentary about DV, throughout the book, and it's handled so well with, like, the comedy of the writing style, and I loved it. The mystery, entertaining, yeah, like, read this book, please. Okay, our next book is Good Girls Don't Die by Christina Henry. I don't even have the book, and I remember the author's name because I love that book. Pardon. Okay, so Good Girls Don't Die. I also gave this to my friend today, actually. It is about, it follows three... How do I explain this book? I'm sorry, I have to, it's split up into 4 parts, but, 3 parts, each of which follows a different female main character, kind of going through something different. So, our first main character, Cecilia, she's kind of stuck in this, Stepford Wives thing where one day she's, in the kitchen, but, she kind of wakes up, gains consciousness in the kitchen one day, and she feels like the life she's living right now isn't hers. There's a husband and a daughter she doesn't even recognize, and she, a murder happens, and she's, trying to piece together what the fuck is happening, because she doesn't know who, where, why she is. And then the second story is this girl named Allie, who is put in this, slasher situation where she's going to going on a cabin trip with her friends and their boyfriends for her birthday, and then, people start dying. And then the third story follows our main character, Maggie, who's kind of put into this, Hunger Games maze runner sort of situation. And somehow, all 3 of these are tied together. Oh my god, I love this book. Okay, so let me. Okay, I rated this 4.75 stars. I wish I could have rated a 5 star because our female main characters are badasses, especially Allie and Maggie throughout the story. Oh, yeah, by the way, each like part of the book is only 80 pages. It's such a fast read. But yeah, anyway, um, like our two main characters, Allie and Maggie, they're like such badasses throughout their whole stories. And then Cecilia, she kind of gets her badassery more towards the end. Yeah. Also, this book subverts like genre tropes. So like Allie, instead of being stuck in a usual slasher where people make dumb decisions, she like is smart and she's like, okay, we're gonna stay alive. And kind of same with Maggie. She's very smart, uses her brain, and like gets everybody out of there safely. Or does she? She tries to. Okay, time is up, but I'm gonna keep going. Oh my gosh, I need to check on iPhone battery. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up really quick. I'm sorry. Anyway, really good, really amazing ending, but didn't get a 5 star because kind of like Darcy Coates, how her writing style was affected by writing short stories. Um, Unfortunately, Christina Henry's writing style was affected. It was very juvenile, not juvenile, but like kind of amateur. And then the ending was kind of lackluster. Like the final ending is is satisfying, but like kind of too easy for our characters. I'll say that. Okay, so now let's get into our two 5 star books, which are also our last two books in this vlog. So, the first book I rated 5 stars is actually the first book I read in June, This Delicious Death by Kayla Cottingham. Cottingham. I don't know why I had to reread that. Anyway, this is actually a reread for me too. I read this in May last year and I loved it, so I really wanted to pick it back up. This is about four girls who actually this takes place 2 years after an event called the Hollowing, which was kind of like the the panorama. I don't know if we can say the I'll just say it, the pandemic, but for the fictional. But instead, everybody who got sick turned into these creatures called ghouls. Yeah. Anyway, so we follow four girls who are going to this music festival when suddenly one of the girls, she goes feral, which means just kind of like she attacks somebody for at the music festival, and then her and her friends have to help her cover it up and are trying to figure out what made her go feral. Oh yeah, and other stuff is happening at the festival as well to other ghouls that's maybe making everybody else think maybe something else is happening, something else is going on. So, oh, hold up, I have to go back to the timer app. Okay, so easy 5 stars. I love this book. First of all, it's queer. We have trans rep, we have bi rep. I love this so much. This was such an just a fun. Oh, sorry. My laptop turned dark mode and it scared me. Anyway, I love the mystery in this book. I love our characters, and it's just such a fun book to read. It's such a quick read. Yeah, I highly recommend this because this is just the perfect like summer queer like weird girl read. I love it. Not weird girl, but like horror girly read. Yeah. Yeah, I really love it. There are chapters that like take place with our characters during the Hollowing as they like deal with like turning into the Hollowed, which are the ghouls. And it's so well written, and there's so much good body horror. I love this book. Okay. I'm so excited to get to yap about the next book, because the next book was kind of a book talk book for a while. And it's the first book talk book I've really loved in a while. I swear to God, it's not a dark romance or anything. It is Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield. Julia Armfield? I don't remember. It's right here on the screen. I don't have the book on me because I borrowed it from a friend. My lord. Anyway, so this book is about these. How do I describe it? Hold up, I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, okay. So this book is about our main character who had a wife go on like a deep sea trip to the Mariana Trench, but instead of it being the scheduled 3 weeks, the submarine was gone for 6 months, and now our main character has gotten her wife back, but she isn't the same, and like she's starting to act really weird, and there's so much weird shit starts happening. So yeah. Oh yeah, also hold up, actually this is dual POV. To the other POV is the wife who was in the submarine. She went like during her time under the sea. That's what I'm trying to say. Under the sea. Anyway. So, I really love this book. It's like a literary horror, which I just love, love, love. I ate it up. The writing style is fantastic. At times it did feel like we were kind of held arm's length away from our characters, but honestly, I can excuse that because just this book was fantastic. I loved it. It was like, it wasn't really creepy. It just described like loss, kind of. Yeah, like loss and grief in such a good way, but also like kind of, I feel like in a sense a lot of military wives could probably agree, or like not agree but relate to our main character a lot too, because they're, I don't know, I just noticed a lot of like similarities between like, you know, somebody leaves to go do something and they come back changed, and it's just, God, it was such a heart-wrenching story. I loved it. It was so good. Okay, and that is the end of the reading wrap up. So I think I actually may have yapped for about a half hour on books again. I'll see when I'm editing. But yeah, oopsies. Anyway, okay, so that was my books of my, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. That was my June reading wrap up. I hope you all enjoyed. If you want more content like this in the future, you should like and subscribe down below. And you should also maybe follow me on TikTok for like more disturbing, or for more like book and movie content. Yeah. Other than that, that's all. Yeah. So I love you guys. Have a good whatever. Love you. See you in the future. Bye.